Hi, I'm Zealand Turner, and I'm the Director of School Communications here at the Pennsylvania Leadership Charter School. Today in the Winging It studio, I'm here with
Emily Antolicato,
Bill Paffis,
Dan Van Hassent,
and we are talking about extended trips, aka PALCS, traveling internationally if you're a high schooler between the grades of 9 and 12. Wow. Thank you for joining us today. This is Winging It.
Hi, my name is Emily Antolicato, and I teach forensics, marine biology, and physical science, and I've been teaching at PALCS for about 20 years now.
I'm Bill Paffis, and I teach social studies, but no history, actually. I teach, I teach AP Psychology, Intro to Philosophy, and U.S. Government.
Ooh, all the walking, thinking, Dead Poet Society things.
Sure.
Okay, great. Love that.
Do we get to stand on the table next? Not my captain.
I heard we can't bang on the table or stand on it.
The table makes noise.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Dan Van Hassent. I teach high school social studies. I do teach history, so I teach world history.
That means he's an actual teacher.
Psychology, and then AP Human Geography.
So how long have we been doing these international extended field trips?
We've always kind of been doing it since about 2010-ish, off and on, but it really didn't start taking a hold until about 2013. The PALCS really didn't start traveling until like Julie Christofio and or Madame Christofio. She would do France, and then a few other teachers did England. But I started in 2014. Started traveling.
Okay, that's cool. That means you've definitely, even just with extended field trips, been more places than I've ever been, for sure.
Sure.
She's so modest. Okay, so I heard England, and that makes me want to jump over to where we just came from. You just took a group of kids to the British Isles.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about it. First of all, where did you go? And then we can dip into the fun details.
It's all you.
Yeah. So we started in Ireland. So we flew into Dublin and then kind of drove around the country for a couple days. We went to what's called the Ring of Kerry, which is in the southern part of the country. Very pretty, picturesque, all along the water. We also went to a sheep farm while we were there, which the kids really enjoyed.
Lots of sheep all around.
There were sheep
Did you get to
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Not to shave them, we got to hold lambs though, as part of the sheep herding demonstration. Then we got in to go and see some of the lambs that I think they were 10 days old or something.
Yeah.
Is what
Yeah,
said.
they were
pretty
little.
big though,
Yeah,
for
they were
10
big.
days.
Holdable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And they smelled. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a little smelly.
Yeah. But oh my gosh.
But a lot of kids said that was their favorite.
Yep.
Even though that was like the very first full day that we were there.
Are they like fuzzy fluffy, or is it like hard, like
No.
bristle pad?
Well, they're a little different though. Their fur or wool was
Yeah.
a little bit more coarse, I felt like. That's why they don't collect the wool from them, is because
Oh.
they're not usable for
Yeah.
anything. So that was like a downside of that. Like
Yeah,
What
right.
do you do with them?
So they
Yoga?
apparently just end up burying the wool. Like when they shear the sheep in the summer, they just end up burying it now because it's not really usable.
Get it out of
anymore.
my sight.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. They're like, okay, sure.
So more so, I think they herd them because it's more land conservation, and they get a lot of government subsidies
Yeah.
for having them on the land. And
It's not all sheep. It's
Yeah.
just this one
Yeah.
particular sheep
I don't even
farm
remember-
with
do you remember
these
the name
types
of it?
of sheep.
The name of it, no.
I remember it had a
Just the
black
one
face. Black faces,
Just
right?
the one farm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your farm? No. That's Ireland. I got stuck in Ireland. Then I feel like we went more places.
We went to Blarney Castle. Some kids did go up to the top and kiss the Blarney Stone. We did not. We walked around the gardens. And then we
You
drove
said,
up.
have at it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we drove up to Dublin. We were there for about a day and a half, seeing some of the major sites there. Then we went over to Wales. Took about a 3-hour ferry ride, which was a little rocky. So Dramamine had to come to the rescue in some cases.
Can you pronounce it?
Oh, the town in Wales? Absolutely not. We visited the town in Wales that has the longest name in Europe. I think it's like 56
58?
or 58
Yeah.
letters.
Okay, so a little more than Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. A couple Mississippis.
Okay.
And then, let's see. And then we went up to Edinburgh in Scotland. It was pretty cold up there. We could see our breath one morning.
It was nice, though.
It did feel good.
It's better than being in Europe in the summertime.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you even pack for this trip? I feel like you went
Layers.
through the entire
Yeah.
Layers. We
spectrum
told the
of
kids
seasons.
just dress in
I
layers.
will say I used Dan's suitcase.
Yes.
That you shared a suitcase, or
No,
he had a bigger
I
suitcase?
had
extra
extra room
room.
in my suitcase. So then Emily a couple days would be like, "Hey, can I put this in my suitcase? Can I put this in your suitcase?"
addition to your suitcase.
But I packed light. Come on now.
I
I really
know,
did
but-
pack light.
I mean, okay, so, all right, so Wales, Bill, you want to take a crack at that name?
No,
All I'll say is it's a sentence. If you translate
Literally.
it,
Yeah.
it's a sentence.
Yeah. So there's a sign if you want to.
I saw the picture of that. Okay, say it.
Well, all right, let's give this a shot. Landvar Pool Gwyn Gil Go Gerung Queen Drob Ul Landis Ilio Go Go Go.
He totally
I
just made up
think-
a bunch of sounds.
That is,
That
I mean,
sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it sounds
Do
nicer in
10
the
people
Scots.
there say it, just
Yes.
casually,
Oh.
fluently,
Yeah.
no problem.
Or that was Wales, right?
yeah, because then it
So-
stands for, because like when we stopped there at the, there was a gift shop there and it literally wrote out like what it actually stands for or like what it means. So it's the Church of Mary in the hollow of the White Hazel near the fierce whirlpool and the Church of, I can't read what that says, by the cave.
So they wrote a poem for this place, and then they named it for the poem.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
So it was interesting, like, oh, we're going to stop here for, what, 30 minutes?
It was 30,
and
maybe
then
45.
And then off we went.
So that's Wales.
We got to Wales.
And then
Scotland.
Scotland, in Edinburgh, we did Edinburgh Castle, which overlooks the whole city, and then walked along what's called the Royal Mile, which connects Edinburgh Castle down to, I think it was another palace down at kind of the bottom of the city. So we were there for a little while. And then we took the train down to London and then spent a day and a half in London and then flew home. We were with a school from New York City. There were about 20 of them. So that way we all fit on a school bus or a coach bus together. So
Do
we're
you now
getting
have pen
50.
pals? Is that
Yeah.
how that
We
works?
We do.
We do. Our kids got along really well with both schools. The chaperones and teachers got along really well from both schools, and we're still in touch with the teachers there.
Go around. What was your favorite moment, place, etc.? Why?
Oh my gosh. I had two.
Okay.
I really liked doing the Ring of Kerry because it was like you were on the bus, but then you got off the bus and you got to explore on your own in little different kind of ports as we were going. I thought that was really fun because you get to see a lot of the coastline. I wish we would have gone to Cliffs of Moher. We didn't get to see that, so I was a little bummed. But we got to see cliffs and things like that. I got a rock from Ireland, so that was fun.
You brought home
I
a
did.
rock.
A rock. Yep. So I can say I was there. And then my other favorite was Scotland. I really liked that. I don't know if you were going to mention this, but like the castle's literally on this rocky cliff, and you look down, and then you have like stories, and so all these different places. What was it, like 8 stories down?
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. So like you literally have this castle, you walk down this road, and then you keep walking, and then they have these stairs that you keep going down. More shops, go downstairs, more shops. It was pretty cool. So that was fun.
So even though we skipped the Blarney Stone because I'd seen mixed reviews about it, but I would say the gardens around Blarney Castle were just
Gorgeous.
yeah. It was. I love going to arboretums in the States, but over there that just blew everything out of the water. It was so cool. It was so beautiful. There was one rhododendron. And
I was about to say.
I was obsessed.
He was all
with
about
it.
the plants.
It was like what, like 30 feet tall. I'd
Yeah.
never seen one that big. And then
Oh, like in its natural habitat,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like lighting up.
it was
And it had flowers. What color were the flowers?
yes,
Pink?
pinkish reddish,
Pinkish,
yeah.
yeah.
And I would also say I loved Edinburgh just because, like you were saying, the castle is up on the hill.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because a lot of the cities around here on the East Coast are just very flat, built around rivers. But over there, it was just hilly terrain because they were building a castle on the highest point to overlook everything. And yeah, so all the streets all go uphill to that castle, and it's just a totally different experience.
A lot of the trip was a mix of rural areas and urban areas. So it's like when you're out in the middle of the countryside, you're seeing more of the locals, kind of a slower pace of life. You have the natural beauty, and then just like it was cool seeing these like little small places, little small towns that you're like, I didn't know I was going to be visiting this small town.
Yeah.
After going around. But then I would say Edinburgh as well. Like it just had, we didn't have a whole lot of time there. I wish we could have spent a little bit more time there to explore the city more. Just the architecture, everything looks so cool. And even as we were like going up and down the Royal Mile, there were guys playing bagpipes. Just like as like street performers, and they had like a case out for like tips.
So it's like a casual instrument over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And wearing kilts.
Wow.
Yes.
It was fun. One of our students purchased a kilt. Actually, the girls did too. I forgot.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
they did.
that's right. That's
but
right.
one of our students purchased it and wore it the rest of his time with us.
Yeah.
It was
love
cute.
that.
Yep. Yep.
Where else have you been?
Where else have I been? Oh my gosh. Panama, Costa Rica. Oh my god. I got it. Germany. Where
We did
Germany,
Czech Republic, Poland, Slovakia,
and Hungary. And then Switzerland, Italy, France, Monaco, Spain. That's all I can remember at this moment.
Holy
Yeah,
moly.
we've been
That's
a lot.
all
We've-
you can
I
remember.
mean, that's.
She's like, that's it.
I'm trying to remember all of the ones. Ecuador, the Galapagos Islands. So yeah, we're trying to get an array of areas, and I'm so happy we expanded to Asia. I would love to expand to Africa.
We're expanding to Asia.
We are.
Yes.
Perfect segue.
Yeah, next summer. So June 2026, we are going to Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Do you always go across distances when you're traveling, or are you like, we're just going to settle in this village and make it a thing?
When we've done, like this one, we covered a lot of ground. It was
Right.
11 days,
Yeah.
and we were
Wow.
constantly on the move. I think it was 5 different hotels over the 11 days.
Do you miss 11 days of school?
No, it was over. This one was over spring break.
Spring.
So the
That
kids
makes
missed
sense.
no
Okay.
school whatsoever. Next summer for Japan, school is going to be over.
You're
So
gonna go
kids
to-
are not going to
okay.
be missing school for any of this.
Is this like a once a year thing? How often do we do these extended field trips?
Once a year.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that sounds like a lot anyway.
Yes.
It's a lot to plan
Yeah.
and to coordinate. And the person who's leading it is usually the one who's answering all those emails, running all the meetings, getting all the kids recruiting. We try to work with each other and going like to USP recruiting, going to CPFA recruiting and things like that. But it's come a long way in 10 years, I have to say.
So why extended? Why do we do these?
Get kids out in the world. There's more to life than just Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So letting them see, there is. Yes, for someone who was not born and bred here, totally.
Oh, don't get her started. Pennsylvania.
So yeah, I mean that's why I do it. Getting them out in the real world and getting to see different cultures, experience different languages, eat different food that's not McDonald's. Yeah.
One of my favorite memories, though, from the Eastern Europe trip was we were stopping in this little town in Slovakia on our way to Budapest in
That's
Hungary.
right.
And it was usually on these trips, kids have free time during lunch. They're in small groups, usually within like a city square, and it's like, go get something to eat, then we'll get back on the bus and we'll continue on the rest of the way. We went to like some authentic Slovakian
It was
lunch
delicious.
place. It was so good. And we asked the kids where they went when we got back on the bus. We're like, we went to McDonald's. It's like, guys.
And they were like enthusiastic.
Yes.
They
about
were
it.
enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this last one, we had to do some rest stops at like gas station, fill-up station,
with like
convenience
several
stores.
different
Yes.
like convenience stores in there. So it's not
I've-
just like, oh, it's just like the hot dogs from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Like it's more than that.
Yeah.
There was McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'd say 50% of them went to McDonald's for lunch. It was hilarious. But in that case, there wasn't a lot of options, but it was just funny.
But McDonald's does try to change up some of their menus depending on where they are. I do a lesson on that in one of my classes about like the globalization of McDonald's and how
Sponsored by.
where they'll kind of change up their menu offerings depending on where they are. Like in Canada, they'll have, or in at least kind of Eastern Canada, they'll have like McLobster rolls.
Oh, no way.
So it's like
Yep.
they'll kind of cater some of it to kind of where in the
This
world
one even
they
had,
are.
I did look at the menu, they had plant-based burgers too to
really?
cater to gluten-free and to vegetarians.
So, if someone wants to go on this already very popular trip to Japan, Who do they contact? What do they do?
Really, you just have to contact the teacher in charge. We have the information, we have the tour page through the tour company, which is awesome. It gives you everything you need.
Okay.
So they're very, very helpful. So if you have access to that, it gives you step-by-step details on how to sign up for the trip, what you need for the trip, what the trip is about. But to get that information, like I said, we put it out there. It's on the PALCS school lobby. We'll be sending announcements out and just trying to get that link out there as much as possible.
And it's a $99 to deposit, right? And that secures your spot. And then you literally would have a whole year to pay off that balance. I even think they can even do bi-weekly if that's something that you want to set up too. You can control how that works.
Yeah, there's different payment plans. So it's like, don't look at the sticker shock. You don't have to pay that all the way up front. It's like just the deposit and then slowly kind of work your way through those payments.
But I will say, for what the kids get for the cost of the trip is great. I mean, you wouldn't be able to go to Japan for, $6,000. Ours is lower than that. So
Right.
it's just economically feasible for students, and it includes their airfare, most of their food except for lunches when they do their free time, their breakfast and their dinner, all the transportation costs, all of that is included, and all the sightseeing and guided tours.
That is so cool.
So it's
And that's
great.
the key there, the guided tours, because we have a tour guide with us who is familiar with the area. So our tour guide, Roger, for the British Isles was incredible.
Yeah.
He did so much for us and helped so much.
So it's not just one, hey, one afternoon we're going to do a cute little tour.
No, it is
So,
all
like,
pre-planned.
Roger was with us the moment we got through the arrival hall in Dublin. Like, as soon as we got our luggage, he was there, and then he was with us the entire time, all the way until the end of our line was getting through security at Heathrow in London.
No
So
way.
the tour directors are with us the entire time
So the
on these tours.
thing
The whole thing.
is like a proper tour.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you're getting the ins, the outs, the info, do this,
Yep.
maybe don't do that.
Yes.
I've even had a tour director where I was like, can we add these two things on? The kids will pay. Can we make this happen? And he arranged our schedule so we could go to Carcassonne, and so we could go to it was like a national park in Italy, in France. It was awesome. And the kids got to go swim in the Mediterranean. It was wonderful. So, I mean, you have really good tour directors.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So do staff members also have the opportunity to go, or is this just you and a whole lot of students?
I would say yes. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you wouldn't be a chaperone. You would just be a paying participant, and you would
Okay.
get to come and join the fun. You would just be paying as an adult fare.
Okay.
I've never had a teacher want to do that, though.
Right.
Right. How many chaperones do you take?
It depends on student numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We always take at least two. We try to take a male and a female,
Okay.
just because that's the ratio. And since COVID, we've definitely wanted to make sure, health-wise, we always have a backup person. But once the trips get much bigger, we are able to add 3, 4, 5 chaperones.
that is so cool. So, and then I heard you say that this past year some parents went. Is that common? Do parents go?
We usually get a couple.
Okay.
We usually get, I think the last tour that Emily and I did, there were 2 parents.
2 parents.
And we had 7 come along this time,
Cool.
which
My
is a little
tour
bit more
before-
than usual.
I was going to say my
but-
tour before that, there was 2. So it depends. And it also depends on the teacher as well. It's just geared towards kids. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing.
And you camp. All these trips are
I mean,
camping.
it is go, go,
In a
go.
tent.
Like, it's exhausting.
bring your own
Not
tent?
quite. Not quite.
Is it the old-fashioned rubber band, like where you put the, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
I know exactly what
right?
you're talking about.
Yeah. Is it required to bring your own tent?
It is not.
No.
Okay.
That takes up too much space.
The tent would end up in my suitcase.
It would. Sorry,
How
Dad.
far ahead do we plan these trips? Is Japan, you put out the first invitation a couple months ago, so when did you start planning that? And is there anything planned after that, or is it just kind of, we'll see how this goes?
Well, for at least the British Isles, for how long that process took. So I started talking with Explorica, which is another tour company, back in February of 2020. and we all know what happened in March of 2020. So
Yep.
we had to, because we have a general kind of schedule for our extended trips, we had to keep pushing things back.
You were just happy to have done this trip at this point.
Yeah, I
Yes,
was like,
getting
oh,
it
my, oh
done.
my goodness. All right, after talking with Explorica for 5 years and having to keep delaying, oh, we're going to start like advertising in next year. It's like, oh, now it finally is going to happen.
Because we had a schedule to follow. So
Right.
our Switzerland trip, which was supposed to take place, that got canceled the year COVID happened. And so that was pushed off for another year. But then we didn't get a lot of takers because people were still a little bit wary. So
Right.
that got pushed back another year. So then once we did that trip, and then we had another trip planned for France with Miss Madame Cristofio. So she did hers, and then here we are.
Yeah. And then Japan is next. So usually like it's a couple year like process as far as thinking about it, talking to the tour company, and then the actual like advertising leading up to it, all the preparation, and then the trip itself.
Do you guys go like world skipping and scouting, or how do you come up with where to go?
You want to take it?
I mean, it kind of depends. So what we did, at least for Japan, was when we were trying to figure out what do we want to do for the 25-26 school year, was we put a survey out to students in the lobby.
Oh, cool.
And Japan was far and away the favorite.
The next step was it the Galap, or was it Costa Rica? I can't remember.
I can't remember which one.
Yeah. So
It was one of those, but Japan was the clear winner. So
Nice.
listening to the students, and clearly it's working because
Yeah.
there's already so many of them
Yeah.
signed up.
Right, yeah.
So that was in the beginning of the school year.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure all that out. So
What are the things that students are going to be seeing or doing next year in Japan?
So there is going to be a lot of time spent in Tokyo in the really cool. I'm kind of into that stuff, but I just kind of know about it. I'm not really that into anime, but I totally appreciate that. But then there's also going to be a really good balance between, okay, we're going to get out to see some temples. We're going to see the one great Buddha that is just the largest Buddha in Japan.
Are you guys doing Duolingo? What are we doing? Are we preparing?
I am
that takes a long time.
starting to explore the language personally, but the tour
AKA
guide...
watching a lot of anime.
Right. But the tour guide actually will be fluent. She'll be with us the entire time. All of the other guides that they have will also be great resources. But no, I got some audiobooks actually that are like conversational Japanese, where it doesn't go into any of the writing or anything like that. It's just very straight up like I went here, or I ate here. So I'm working through those for the next.
I was gonna say this
year and a
past trip, everybody spoke English. So that was pretty easy.
That was
But I
simple.
will say, like when we did like Eastern Europe and we've done other countries, we try to put out some common phrases like "Where's the bathroom?"
Yeah.
"Hello," "Thank you," like things like that.
Yeah,
so
things
the
even just to
kids
be, like,
know
polite.
How much does
Yeah.
this cost? So so they can be polite.
I remember even for Eastern Europe, our tour director, who was with us the whole time, she gave everyone little like cards. Like it's like when we were in Germany, all right, here's common phrases in German, and let's practice
It's like
them
we should do
together
that
on the
for this
bus.
one.
I love that.
And then as we went from country to country, even for like Hungarian, even though Hungarian is extremely difficult.
And she was Hungarian, right? I think she was.
I don't remember. She might have been.
She gave you the cards and she was giggling. She was like,
She pretty much said, well, she pretty much did say
luck
good
with
luck with that one. She tried to get us through for it, but yeah, she pretty much said like good luck.
wow. Okay. All right. So, I feel like you just came home from the British Isles
A couple weeks ago.
A couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. Was there a time change there? Are you adjusted? Are you back? Are you happy?
It's what, 5? It was a 5-hour time difference.
Yeah, 4
it
to 5
wasn't-
hours. It
wasn't
wasn't
horrible.
bad.
I got home. I was crashing at 8 p.m. I felt good. I was waking up early.
Yeah,
That's
it
exactly.
pretty much took like a day to kind of reset your like body clock a little bit.
Yeah.
Do any of you travel a lot on your own, or? Yes,
I
I'm
do.
getting the
I was going to
yes.
say, you called me the world traveler. This one's been more places than I have.
Yeah.
Yes. Where have you been recently?
I was in.
No. Ask him
No.
where he's going.
Where are you
Oh,
going?
okay.
Forget where you've been. That's in the past.
So
Moving on.
at the end of June, early July, I'll be going to South Korea.
Oh wow. Okay. Kathy just got super excited.
It's for a teachers like fellowship program.
Ooh.
So it's with, I think it's like 26 or 27 teachers from around the world. And we'll be in South Korea for a week and a half to do It's mostly about like Korean War history, but just kind of experiencing the culture, learning more about Korean history. We will be going to the demilitarized zone, the DMZ, spending a lot of time in Seoul. I will be going down to Busan, one of the other major cities in South Korea. We'll be spending a night at a Buddhist temple there.
So jelly.
So a lot of historical and a lot of cultural aspects to learn about, and then a lot that I can bring back to my classes too.
Okay, so more than a rock.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll to qualify it as a trip, I will bring a rock home.
But okay,
yeah, that's like that is
got it.
the
Make fun of
mark.
my rock.
I know. I clearly am just jealous of your rock collection. So here we are.
Zimbabwe.
I'm gonna say Equatorial Guinea.
Go with him.
2 for Equatorial.
Two for Equatorial Guinea.
East Timor?
Yeah.
This
If these
This
were
guy-
It is that one.
if these weren't
is
multiple
just Dead Poets
choice,
Society.
Right.
What does he know about flags? East Timor. All right. 2 for Bill.
This
All right.
one
What are we doing here? This is
is
definitely
Uganda, I
Botswana.
believe.
Cameroon.
Ethiopia.
Yeah, it's Ethiopia.
Okay. Yep, it was Ethiopia. All right, I am getting, don't tell me, a strong
you got it.
Peru.
Very
Yes.
good.
Really?
Yep.
We'll click on it and find out.
Okay, all right. First of all, why do you guys know all these flags?
Peru's one of the places I've
That's
been,
good. Yeah,
actually.
you've been there.
Okay, I've been to the Bahamas and I don't know what that flag. That's our flag.
Speaking of,
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's it. Oh, wow.
She knew that.
I knew that. Nicaragua.
El Salvador?
I'll say Honduras.
There are 2
Well, there's
Honduras.
That
two
is-
Honduras.
I'm gonna go Honduras number 2.
Honduras.
El
Oh,
Salvador.
was
Also, Bill is taking it, and he's not even the flag guy. All right.
That one is Russia.
That Russia.
I have been there.
Okay. I don't know, but that's a cool like double
Is that
phoenix.
Albania?
It is Albania.
I was gonna
Is
say
that a phoenix?
Slovakia. No, those are dragons.
Dragons?
It looks like a dragon.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
it's
on! But it has like
double-headed.
the.
Is
with
that the crest? Probably.
Mhm.
With the. It's got the. It just is giving like I'm a light on fire vibe, but I guess dragons do be doing the fire thing. All right, what did we say?
Albania.
Albania.
Yeah, you knew that one.
This is not even a game, guys.
Argentina.
Dominican
No?
Republic.
DR?
Dominican, DR. Need that. I'm just gonna start delaying my response.
Canada.
Yeah.
No, okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Is that No, that's Poland, right?
No, Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Poland is the other way.
I was
Okay.
waiting for you guys because I knew it was Indonesia and I didn't want to give it away. Hey!
Ireland.
Yep.
That's a good one to end on. I think I'm not good at flags or geography, but a little bit psychic. I think that's where I am.
Well, and especially with these trips, because for sometimes this is the first time that our students are meeting one another. So they're very like introverted in the beginning, and then we are spending 9, 10, 11 days together. So then they end up making fast friends.
Do you have like meetings
lot of them
or
room
anything
together.
ahead of time?
Mm-hmm.
Like group meetings?
Yeah, I had I think 3 kind of meetings with everyone this time, and then we did get together to do an escape room and lunch
Okay.
in King of Prussia.
Wait, so
The
this
week
is
before.
basically a travel club.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way.
Okay,
But
'cause
like that
I'm
really
totally
allowed,
with
because we had a lot of students that go to CPFA that all knew each other. But then we had a lot of students that didn't know each other, but
Yeah.
the group did get very close as a result of meeting before the trip and then being on the trip.
I would shear the sheep and then spend the rest of the trip making a friendship bracelet with that like grainy Brillo pad wool.
Yeah.
Just
We found a
saying.
use for it.
Hello.
There you
Doesn't have
go.
to get buried underground.
One of the things I try to do is get them to make a like little video about what they enjoyed the most, like what did they take out of it. And a lot of them, I think in 50% of the videos that I would sit there and watch, a lot of them say meeting new people.
Yeah.
Yep. As opposed to seeing all the sights.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody mentioned McDonald's though. Yeah.
My favorite part of the British Isles trip was probably either the Lake District or Edinburgh.
My favorite thing was meeting new people.
Making new friends and also seeing the different cultures that are here.
June 22nd is the current date. It could be as early as the 19th, depending on the tour dates available, but we're planning for June 22nd, 2026 to go to Japan. That's going to include Tokyo, Kyoto, a couple of other regions as well. It'll be a good mix of urban along with some of the shrines and nature in Japan. And yeah, so sign up, reach out to me. You'll see the information posted on the PALCS lobby. If you have the link to our tour company, EF Tours, for the Japan trip, it'll have everything on there. Just reach out to me, Mr. Paphos, bpaphos@palcs.org, or look at the PALCS High School lobby for more info.